So we don't even have a name, or let's say we have a tentative name. Sam and IG podcast, right? That's what it is. Okay. Because we're not talking about any one thing in particular. This is not a relationship podcast, please. This is not a relationship podcast. This is not, I don't know what it is, but we're just talking about different things, right? Yeah. And the reason why I'd always wanted to do this was we always have very interesting conversations in the car. Mm-hmm. People who have been able to be with us in the car at one point in time and hear our conversations, sometimes they're like, ah, and sometimes it's like, mother! and well, they get to understand, like people who now stay with us for a while, you get to know that it's just our usual banter and all of that. But I think those car conversations, that was like second year of our marriage that we used to have when we moved from Ibadan to Lagos. I think those car conversations shaped a lot, mm-hmm. right? How we think about things. Mm. Because what it did for us was that it helped us to bounce ideas off each other. Now, when I say think about things, I'm talking of thinking about different life issues. So we take things that we see probably online or issues that have come from one friend or the other. Then we come, you bring your angle, I bring my angle, you bring your angle, and I don't know, like the argument, I don't know why you like to argue too much. I don't know why it's a first child thing, but
I could say the same about your middle child.
Whatever, but I'm a diplomat. Okay, But I think those things. One thing he did for me was he gave me clarity on some issues. Right. I think that's one of the beautiful things. I don't even want to call it argument. I want to call it debate. Right. That's when you get to understanding after you've grappled with an idea through that means. I think the understanding is stronger. So we've talked about so many issues. So I guess this is just doing it now in front of
for people to see.
Yeah.
I think I'll say the same thing too. I think it's just us talking. That's why I'm insisting. I want it to be original. I want us to just be ourselves.
We are ourselves now.
I want us to package.
We're ourselves, but
yeah, so
things have to be like I need to put small powder and everything. Do the next. This let me bring.
So I just want us to be original. I want us to talk about stuff, and I think our conversations can be a blessing to a lot of people.
I think so too.
So I think, and then of course would open to feedback. We'd love to hear from people, get emails from people, hear what they have to say. As much as well. I know that some weirdos might.
If I say I particularly might not be looking at comments, would that be a bad thing?
No, it's not. Trust
I'm
me.
still suffering from PTSD, please. So, but
yeah. Okay, but I agree, Sha.
At least from friends, people who know us.
Friends, people that know us, from church and all that. And we want to make this outside of church.
Yeah, so that's why we're not doing this on a TC platform.
Yeah.
So this is Sam and IG. This is not a church thing. Like I said, to shock people, some of the things we've talked about, or it might not shock people.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So I think that's a good one.
So now let's start with the first one. The first one, as much as we said, this is not a relationship podcast. It's now relationship we're talking about.
So we're starting relationship stuff.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And what's that topic? Okay. So it was. The topic I came up with, and it's a long topic, we'll find a way to shorten it, is Sam and IG on whether there is a formula for good relationships.
Yeah. Is there a formula for a perfect marriage or relationship kind of thing?
Yep.
So let's see our stuff.
Yeah.
So first of all, is there a good marriage? Is there a perfect marriage? Is it the idea of a great marriage, a perfect marriage? What does it mean to you? Is it something that you think is real? You know, can there be a perfect marriage or perfect relationship?
Perfect, no. Could, yes, right. So perfect, no, because I don't even know where to begin to define perfect, right? Especially the two people who are in making up whatever it is, the relationship or marriage, are not even perfect. How do you now even get to perfection, right? There's no Heisenberg with this. But good. How I would define good relationship is good for both parties. Now, this is not a Christian necessarily, this is not a church Christian type of thing, but there's a lot of answers and definitions that I'll give that might be grounded in the fact that I have a relationship with God and I love Jesus. And for me, the best definition that I could say of good is whatever definition God gives it. So when the Bible says, and God saw it and it was good, that's what I'm trying to point to. So for a relationship, for a marriage, was good. It's not a relationship where, and I don't know if this is a controversial thing to say or not, I don't think it's a relationship where the good is defined as happy, where good equals to happy. Now, I'm not saying they won't be happy, but you cannot take your total definition of good, great, whatever you want to call the relationship, as something that I'm happy with. The reason why I'll say so is I am not happy when I'm trying to lose weight. I'm not happy when I'm going to the gym. But you feel me, Abby? So you're just smiling like this. I'm not happy when I go to the gym. I'm never happy when I go to the gym. Like, do I think I'll ever be happy? But is it something I want to do for my heart? Yes, I want to be here for my daughters when they get big. So, just to clarify that, right? It's not necessarily happy. But good, I think it's a relationship where both parties are fulfilling what God will have them do, right? They are fulfilled. And even in that fulfilling, again, if anyone who has ever tried to go after an endeavor or a challenge, you know that it's not always all rosy. There are times where you cry, there are times where you laugh. I'm talking of any endeavor you're trying to do. You're trying to start a business, you're trying to get a master's, you're trying to do something, you're trying to fulfill a certain plan for yourself, right? But for a relationship, I would say it's good is when both parties are fulfilling what God will have them do. Now, by the time you now start going into what does it mean to now fulfill what God wants you to do, I don't know if it's something we can. I know we're not in a hurry, but is that something? Let me hear what you have to say before I go down.
Yeah, so I'm in line with you actually. I think it makes sense. I would even go one step further to describe it as an excellent marriage, an excellent relationship. It's excellent. It's not perfect because the
excellent sounds perfectionistic to me.
Really?
Yes, no.
Let me tell you what I mean. So when I explain it, you say that excellence is not perfectionist. So I think of excellence in the sense that the two people in the relationship or the marriage are fulfilled, and yeah, that's the word I'll use. They use the word fulfillment. Now, fulfillment does not, just like you so rightly said, fulfillment can be painful sometimes, right? For example, you have to make a tough decision to make some things work in your marriage that is not necessarily so sweet. You know, it can be painful, but you know you'll be fulfilled in it. You have, you know, peace in it and everything. But obviously, for the majority of the time, you'll be happy, right? You'll be happy and all that. But anything that makes you fulfilled, anything that makes you become a better version of yourself, everything that really makes you to progress and develop is what I would describe as an excellent relationship. So the idea that someone that gives me ecstatic moments, that's not necessarily good. Because someone can make you feel ecstatic and be, in a way, be corrupting your life, destroying you, taking away something from your life, you know, in different ways. You go into a relationship where the person makes you feel high, and at the end of the day, you have so much regrets from that relationship. The fact that you're having ecstatic moments and it ended up being sour does not make it a good relationship, right?
Okay, so I want to quickly say something, right? And just came to mind. Do you think this is an oversimplification of the definition? Because we both said similar things to say, like, a good marriage, an excellent marriage is one where I said where you're fulfilling God's purpose, where you say where you're fulfilled. And the reason why I'm saying oversimplistic is because, especially the fact that we try to also explain that feeling happy or ecstatic is not necessarily fulfilled. So someone can now, I don't want to make it oversimplistic, right? Because it's many things, right, within that fulfilled. So without going down a rabbit hole, what other traits would you say make up a good?
That's actually yeah, we should do that. We should we should be more detailed in just saying fulfill. So let me, over the top of my head, let me say something like, number one, someone that gives you peace of mind. Peace of mind is important. Peace of mind is not happy. Peace of mind can be painful, but peace of mind is peace of mind.
Why? What is it with you and pain?
It's something that people run away from, and I like to talk about it so that,
don't put it too much. You have
all right,
said
okay,
it
so
already.
someone that gives you peace of mind, someone that gives you a good, decent measure of amount of having a good time. You have a decent measure of a good time, because having a bland marriage is not an excellent one.
Yeah.
A bland one is not really cool, right? So there should be some,
especially if you have faculties that have the ability
yes,
to
if you
have fun,
need, yes,
and they are
you
not
have that
getting
need.
it.
Yeah, you have that.
Yeah.
So there should be a good measure of fun. You should have a good measure of fun, right? You should have some good, enjoyable stuff, nice memories. Someone that gives you peace of mind, someone that does that, and someone that, a relationship that helps you to become better at who you are meant to be. You have dreams, you have visions for yourself as a man or as a woman, and you want to do some things with your life, right? That marriage that helps you to get closer and closer to it every day. So that's 3 things, right? What else? Decent sex, right? Decent amount, good sex, it's part of it, right? So there should be good sex. But we have to talk about that though, because I'm sure I'll say some things later on that might sound contradictory to that, but yeah, that's part of it. So in detail, those are the kind of things I would say.
I'm thinking if there's any other thing that I would like to add. I think there also has to be a measure of alignment, right? To the direction that the two of you want for your life. There has to be. Well, at least at the time where you are starting out. Because I also think this is something that always affects relationships and marriages, where even if at the time when you're starting out there seems to be an alignment or things like that, who you are 10 years from now, right? So I think there always has to be a measure of alignment. Now, alignment in the sense of what you call values in how you want to approach life.
That you're going to talk about the formula. Now we're still describing the picture.
Okay. So let me stick to what I mean by alignment in terms of good relationship is I see what I see for myself, and it's also kind of tied to dreams, really. So aside supporting me in my dreams, there has to be some kind of alignment in how we both want to approach dreams. So for example, let's say what I see for myself is I want to be in politics. And what you see for yourself is you want to be a space explorer. And we somehow both see that we also want to have children who have quality time with their parents, right? So there has to kind of also be some alignment, I think.
But that could just be a logistical issue. Maybe we'll come there. Sure, we'll come there.
So that's like I'm trying not to be specific to situation, but let me say alignment to how you generally approach things.
Yes. Yeah. Another thing I'll say is that you shouldn't have too many arguments. By argument, I don't mean debate of topics, philosophical debates. I mean arguments of disagreements. You shouldn't have too many. In a good marriage, an excellent one, you shouldn't have too many.
They point out to something.
Yeah, it means if you're having too many disagreements, there's an optimum amount of disagreement that is necessary to keep you guys both on your feet.
You don't talk formula now.
Okay, all right. Okay, you know what? Let's just go straight to it. So let's go next to this next one.
Okay, next question.
So the next question is there a formula? Oh no, we're getting ahead of it. Okay, so now based on this definition of a good marriage, right? Would you say that you are in a good marriage?
The question is, are you happy?
Are you happy in your marriage or relationship?
Well,
how happy are you? Rate your husband over 10.
Why are you doing this to yourself? If I would just bring Excel now, when you say rate your husband, that's too blank. Rate him different things. Rate him in fineness, rate him in fun, rate him in stress, rate him in sex. Rating me, what else do you want to add again? What I did, well, we define some things. Yeah. Rating in alignment, rating in purpose, and I'll add all the other things. So don't ask rating so that.
Oh yeah, now we have heard. So what would you say? Are you happy?
Of course, I'm happy. I am really.
Are you sure?
I am.
Are you sure?
You can't
Despite
hide
the way
it
they
now.
dragged you on Twitter, you're still happy.
Oh God, don't bring it up. Not now, not now. I've not finished my therapy on that. Right, but yes, I am. I'm happy. I think I never knew the extent of what I was getting into. But then at the same time, I have never had any regrets. Like, there hasn't been one day that I've been like, did I make a mistake? Nah, man.
I mean, after the first 6 months or something. Apart from the first 6 months.
Why they drag me now?
Oh, yeah, sorry now. We are sorry.
But for people who don't get, like, the first 6 months of us dating it was half me panicking, half me trying to figure out
what the heck you're doing.
What the heck I was doing. I think maybe it's because of my personality type. I'm prone to anxiety or whatever. I was just like, oh my God. Oh no. I can't even remember. I wish I could find my old phone to see what
all the things.
All those are 15 naira per text message that we're sending to each other. Then was
good times.
Yeah, good times. Before WhatsApp came to save our money. But yeah, I've never had a regret. Like, and I never close my eyes and think of the next couple of years and feel any certain type of way, right? God willing, we're both going to be here, right? We have an agreement. I'm not dying first. So, like, when I think of it, I'm like, man, and we've gone through stuff. And I think with each
11 years.
Yeah, with every single thing we've gone through, it has always just made
us stronger.
Yeah, and you're fine.
And I'm fine.
You're fine now.
Yes, you're fine. You need to see yourself. You're actually very fine. That's right. You go born another one.
And I had a dream last night.
Oh my God, please, cut out the call. Oh my God. Okay, so, yeah. So
are you happy?
Me? I'm happy. I'm very happy. I honestly don't think I could be happier.
Are you sure?
You know, once in a while, I do thought experiments.
Should I open file your share?
Me?
You know the question I keep asking, if you find your Yoruba-speaking Latina, are you sure you will not be?
I say, there's no Yoruba-speaking Latina in this life. Yeah, that can never replace you.
Oh, come on now.
There's nobody. Because I actually think about this from time to time, and I discovered something.
You think about what from time to time?
Relax.
No, but relax. Explain yourself.
What I mean is, sometimes I run thought experiments in my mind. Like, is there any universe where I could possibly not have been this happy or something, right? So, I'm not doing the smart thing.
So you're happy in every multiverse. Multiverse of happiness.
Yes, in every multiverse. In every universe in this multiverse, I'm happy. And there's one other thing. It's not just about how much we aligned, a lot of things, respect to our values, and how much we love. It's also about the memories we built.
Yeah.
It's also about the memories we built. It's because there's
and the potential of the other memories we could.
And
build.
the potential of it, because it's like at this point to be like detaching a significant part of who you are. Your makeup.
I know, right?
Right. So now we've been together for a third of our lives.
Actually,
yeah, exactly a third of our lives. So it's like trying to detach a significant part of your life. It's not possible.
As in.
So yeah, I'm actually very happy, and I've never not been happy. There was no period where I was not happy. So far.
Even during my pregnancy.
During your pregnancy, I was extremely happy. You know
when I was stressing the hell out of it.
No, the idea of having baby coming, I loved it now. So I was always happy. I was happy throughout.
Okay. Let me think of another time.
Happy throughout.
Yeah, but I'm not a stressful person. It's jackpot too.
July time, I was really worried that I had not made you happy was that whole Twitter. I was sad in that period. And you know now.
Yeah.
I was thinking that maybe I had done something that will not make you happy, and like the idea of not making you happy was like, it terrifies me.
That was your problem.
Yeah, that was my real problem. The way it was, the effect that
wanted to fight.
The effect that I had.
If you had seen the human being then and there.
But honestly, why do you think people misinterpreted that thing? Like, because the two people I responded to were Anu and Michael, people that were our school friends.
Right, you know, I have my opinions about Twitter. And which is, I'm going to delete the source code or whatever it is, where I can eventually find how it is. And the major reason is the way it has shaped how people relate. a good example I can use is, let's say we're walking on the streets, and you see there are like 100 people on the streets, and then two people start having a conversation, and then you just go in and just like, how can you say that? And then you just start, talking. And I'm like, you don't know the context of the two people. You don't know, like, so that's my problem with Twitter. No matter how long you increase the character limits, no matter how long the thread is. And I like to say that I'm a student of effective communication. Text-based communication is one of the weakest forms, right? You have to really explain yourself, and then you now shorten that text, right? Even shorter than like. So that's one part. Now the second part is, over the years that Twitter has existed, it has also built this need to be savage. And you too, you've been savage for other people. Yes, you've been savage. Yeah, in your hair. So it builds this need to be savage. Everybody wants to. Then he also builds the need to want to trend. There's what's the terminology for everybody looking like some kind of moralistic champion and all that. And in my mind, I'm like, if everybody is this
morally upright.
Morally upright, would the world really be the way it is? Like, so.
Twitter is the home of virtue signaling.
Do you understand virtue signaling, right? So I don't like Twitter. Like, even my pastor, JHP, that has recently gone off. JHP is Jackie Operi, that has recently gone off Twitter. Like, I can feel like.
You feel her? Yeah?
I feel her, like 100%. So that's one example I can give for that. Another example I can give is, I will ask anyone, if you have a best friend, like if you truly have a best friend, like you know those bestie that, and you read that conversation, and you say that's a conversation between you and your best friend, will you feel any type of way?
Yeah, I noticed that there are some people understood, some people didn't understand.
Right. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm best friend, be it boy or girl. Like I know how people, Nigerians, I know how people talk. Like, we come here, things like that. So I think the only thing that I would definitely have done differently is, and which is what we've reduced, is no more bands.
Yeah, no more bands.
Outside. No more, what I mean by no more bands, between us, right? Outside, because God knows, people know how we talk. I know what I say to you, you know what we say. It's like, so I think maybe we should never just get carried away.
Yeah.
By saying maybe we, I mean maybe you. Because
I mean, I can't get carried away again.
You won't see me, you won't even see me.
No. I can't even get carried away again. It can't happen to me again. And you're right, actually, because sometimes I think about what I could have done differently. And truly, I should not have taken it for granted the fact that not everybody is us, not everybody is our friends. And that is that the fact that I've said that thing so much in public, in church, to our friends, to our family.
You forgot that it wasn't the same audience.
It's not really the same audience as on Twitter. So that joke of
now that you're saying that, and I think I remember it now, I'm like, when people who didn't know us were misinterpreting it, I think that one I didn't send it because I remember like, you don't know us. I think what pained me were people who knew us and they were jumping up with, and we're like,
like you
from where to here, like
really?
You are defending me, and you're like, who sent you messages? I just remember that was actually the painful part.
People that expect to know you, and you know this thing happened recently. I told you that one of my old colleagues from school, a doctor, sent me a message, and when I was hyping you on my WhatsApp status, and it was like, I hope you won't call your wife ugly again. I was like, I wanted to swear at the guy. I was like, what is wrong with you? He was not telling me, and this is a very, very funny thing about that thing. That's like telling me that, in fact, your wife was one of the finest girls when we were in, what do you call it? The 100 level, CBN. When we were in CBN, your wife was one of the finest girls. So I hope you won't call your wife ugly again. I wanted to rip the hair out of my hair. Like, what is wrong with you?
I don't know whether it's virtue signaling or whatever, but I'm just like...
You know what thing I noticed, to be honest? A lot of guys from school, actually on Twitter and on WhatsApp, were sending messages and saying stuff like that. That no, your wife was very fine and everything, and trying to shame me and all that. So it now actually dawned on me that there were a lot of people that were actually tripping for you. That were so scared. I did not know. That were so scared. That were so
I did not know.
And they now felt this was an opportunity for them to see what they wanted to say.
Do you really think so?
So weird.
Or do you think that they were just
confessing to me that they were actually tripping for you? Like, they understand they're tripping for you. So I'm like, dude, why will you be telling me this now, like 10 years, 15 years after school? Like, what kind of weirdo is this?
And I saw some of the people who said that to you, and I'm like, ah.
And why did they all ask you out back then? Were you okay? You were scary, Sha? Yes, now your face was strong.
They will drag you again.
Your face was strong.
But yeah, I wasn't having it. Like, I literally just had one boyfriend throughout university.
Yeah. And you are much finer now than them.
Yes, now.
See you.
And you two, you're much finer now.
Am I? I'm getting, my pot belly is coming out.
That's my doing. I need to use it to...
Not to balance it.
To balance it. It's not good. I don't need chewing gum girls. Or if they like, let them come. But anyways.
Okay, so...
I know I'm much finer now. You're much finer now. Like, I think that's also... I also think there was some dishonesty to how people approach that thing, because it's the same thing. Like, if I were the one who posted the picture and did, like, I remember when 10-year challenge was such a thing, and everybody was like, thank God for your life, or the latest one was that Kumama Yesu, that people that put, and I'm like, so if I were the one that put that picture, because I made
the rules are not the same for guys and girls.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, Pele. I remember doing that 10-year challenge. Like, funny enough, I think that was the picture that people, and that was another thing that was really weird. Like, I think that was another thing that really terrified me about the whole situation. People actually going to dig out my pictures and put it there to make it. And I was like,
tricky one.
And it made me more.
Let me not talk.
Don't talk.
Those people.
Don't talk.
Let's just keep still.
It made me, to be honest, one good thing I think that did come out of it was it made me a little bit more, because I'm not in any way oblivious of the fact that I have possibly also contributed one way or the other to toxic behavior online, right? And some of toxic things I'm talking about is I see someone, I hear a story or something, and I'm judging. I'm never someone who ever comments. I don't think I've ever left any negative comment, but I'm definitely thinking it in my mind, or I'm sending it in a personal group. Someone like, look at this person, look at what this person did. I think it made me a little bit more empathetic to people.
Did for me too. Since then, I was more prone to defend people that are being ratioed. I noticed that I just began to have a soft spot for people that are being ratioed, and I want to.
Because I realized that 9 out of 10 times they probably were misunderstood.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm not leaving Twitter.
Are you sure?
I've helped a lot of people. I've met some of my best.
That's as of today.
Yeah, I know every day I come up tomorrow and I say I'm deleting Twitter, then I say I'm not. But now I'm thinking.
JHP deleted that Twitter.
Eventually. Right?
What God cannot do
does not exist.
Okay, now.
I guess we'll wait and see.
But then again, I don't think I want you to delete your Twitter as well.
Yeah.
I don't think. My my only concern would be if it ever makes you feel a certain way about yourself, right? Both good or bad. And you say both, you wonder, if it makes you feel good, is that a bad thing? I think the inherent problem with that is the moment you look to platforms like that to shaping how you feel about yourself, the moment you accept it for the good, you've also put within that pill the possibility of also making it make you feel a certain way, right? When it goes wrong. Yeah. Because you've gotten positive validation from that thing, somewhere in your mind you have equated...
You're making the locus of your self-esteem to be...
For me, yes. You've already equated that thing to be the... Is it subject, object, or...
Because I'm actually really wary of Twitter people. Anyway, you know what?
That's turned to Twitter conversation.
Yeah, that's with small hint of therapy.
Okay.
So the next episode, we're going to talk about the formula, right?
Yes.
The actual formula to making a good marriage. And so that's when we're really getting into the thick of things, right?
Yep.
Okay, so...
making a good relationship and marriage. Because we're not talking marriage only.
Yeah. So
relationship.
We'll talk about if there's an actual formula and how to make it happen. So, how do they usually end these things? How do they end these things?
Cut.
Well, good, have you?
That's the end.